Labas, bitches! This is Tom coming to you from Shanghai for another delicious Eurovision reaction video. And this morning I'm going to be reacting to Lithuania. The song is called Run with the Lions and it's by Jurijus. What's his actual name? Yuri Veklenko. So, let's kiki! As always, timestamps down at the bottom in case you want to skip to my first thoughts or my score. Lithuanian Eurovision. How do I put this nicely? The good news is that they're not currently my least favourite country. That would go to Malta. But now that Malta's had an absolute banger this year, the bad news is that Lithuania is now my least favourite country in Eurovision. I very rarely like the song that they send. There are a couple of exceptions. Last year's song by Eva was absolutely gorgeous. The performance was really beautiful. Having said that, I didn't enjoy the song on its own and I didn't download it and I wouldn't listen to it, but I enjoy watching that performance and I've watched it a couple of times since. The only song I've ever downloaded is 2006, LT United, We Are the Winners. I thought that song was fun and it's their best result so far. It came 6th. In between those times though, I haven't liked anything. I didn't enjoy Donny Mantel's song, although I think he's a great performer. I enjoyed the performance of Vilja Attention, the girl in the crazy tutu dress. That was quite fun, but again, the song for me did nothing. Now, an interesting thing is that I have got other songs from Lithuania, but they aren't songs that made it to the final. So I like some of the songs that are in the national finals, but the song I like never makes it. 2017, Greta Zaza, Like I Love You, that's a fantastic song, and that lost out to Fused Mark. I just don't get that. Fused Mark was a total flop. Last year I really liked a song called Dying Inside by Valdis Lacko, but that came 10th in one of the heats. So I just feel like I'm not on the same wavelength as Lithuania because I just don't feel like our musical tastes blend whatsoever. Now, my favourite this year was Majule. That song was so much fun and it had tinges of a joke entry, but it's a little bit like Hattori this year where there's a lot of thought, preparation and energy has gone in, and you know, the facade is that it's a joke, but really you get the impression that Hattori are taking this very seriously and this is a big deal to them. Because you can't come up with something as slick as they have without a lot of thought and effort. I felt the same with Majula this year. Obviously it wasn't the same level as Hattori, but that performance had fantastic choreography, it had some beautiful ethnic brass sounds in it, a really cool video. The song was funny. I believe it was about a man who really loves his car, and Majule means is it a pet name for a car, I think? Stack glasses on. Europe has a much better understanding of Lithuania than I do because they've put them through to the final 7 of 11 times, which is a very decent amount. It puts them in 10th place even though they're in the semi of death. One thing I will say about that is Lithuania has a very big diaspora. There's a lot of Lithuanians in Ireland, where I'm from, and in the UK as well. They get a lot of extra points if those countries are voting with them. Now, that's not going to be able to explain 7 qualifications, so definitely people in Europe do react to their songs sometimes. I wonder if this is the revamped version. I hope it's the revamped version, so I don't have to listen to it twice. Wanna know my secret? Bang. I don't know if this is the revamped edition or not. It's whatever was on YouTube. It looks like the national performance. Maybe they've dubbed over it. Sounds like there's a couple of new electronic elements in the background maybe. I like him as a person. I believe he did the backing vocals for that drag queen a couple of years ago, and you know that's always going to curry favor with me. So I feel bad that I don't really like the song, but let's see what happens. I don't know, it's very flat for me. I find it really ironic as well that the song is called Run with the Lions because you expect something like very wild and savage, and it's literally the opposite. This is incredibly timid and clinical and very insipid. I find it super insipid. And it's just a typical like don't worry song or like be yourself song. It's the fact they put it in the Run with the Lions doesn't make the lyrics original for me. I like his vocal, he seems quite confident there, you know, going up nice and high. I don't know, nothing's different there from the first verse and the chorus. I don't feel anything extra. I want to like it because I like him, but I just don't like it. It's I think the song is super weak. It's boring. And I don't know if that maybe the public have this like real strong connection with him, because you know he's been in their competition before, so maybe he's well known, and maybe it was more a little bit more of an emotional decision to put him through rather than based solely on the song. Okay, climax. That's not a climax. That drum thing for me has just been done a million times. That sounds really recycled. He needs, I have no attention right now, so he needs more ad-libs, I think, if he wants to add a bit more grip into the last section. I quite like that ending, but it's much too little, much too late. Okay, headphones off, glasses off. I feel like I think that was the revamped version, because I felt like there were a couple more new electronic elements which I don't remember before. To be honest, it worries me a little bit that I wasn't definite whether it was a revamp or not. It needed to be very, very different for me to be elevated, and that wasn't different enough. I've said this multiple times, I'll say it again, I like him as a person, I wish he'd been given something better, but this song is just dull as fuck. It's so boring, it's really unimaginative, bland, the lyrics are incredibly cliche, it's tasteless, it's not even vanilla, it's unflavored protein powder. I just don't want to listen to it again. I can't see this as well being one of those songs that you listen to and you warm to over time. Fundamentally, the core ingredients of it just don't work with me. I don't know if there's a subsection of the population that likes this type of music. It's definitely not me. Maybe it has a mainstream appeal that just goes above my head. It's also difficult because, look, I'm going to be honest, I really did like Majule. If you haven't seen that song, watch it. It's not the best song in the world, but it's solid and it's very fun and memorable. I feel like in these national finals where you don't really have any great songs, you've got like these very average, mediocre pop songs. This is one example. Croatia was the same with The Dream. I think when you've got those options, it's better to just go, okay, fuck it. There's no point of sending something really safe that's just going to come 15th in the semi. Let's take a risk. This is the year to take a risk when we don't have a standout pop song. And this is what I felt Lithuania should have done this year. They should have taken Majule and they should have given a little bit of a revamp to make it even more delectable, and I think that Lithuania would have had a shot with that. Same with Croatia. I felt like they should have taken the Mantra or Putalero and neatened those songs up, and those would have been a more worthwhile risk rather than just sending something really safe. Like I said before, I never really liked Lithuania's songs, so when Majula came I was like, oh wow, I might actually like their song. And for the third year in a row, the song I like hasn't even been in the top 2. At least Majula came third this year compared to 2017 when Greta Zaza came 5th and Valdislako came like a millionth. In regards to the line imagery, I feel like it's an afterthought. A little bit like if you had a very dull song, you're like, ooh, this song's a bit dull, how do we make it interesting? Let's call it Icicle. And then you put loads of pictures of icicles coming in, or you call it Hurricane, and you put loads of hurricanes in the background. You're like, our love is like a hurricane. It's like, okay, that's an interest, like hurricanes are very wild and exciting, but your song isn't. You can't just make your song interesting because you're comparing it to something interesting. So, you know, I've seen one of the live performances and he's got a lot of lines in the background and it looks forced and there's no real connection other than the fact that there's that one lyric. The song has nothing in common with the line whatsoever. It's incredibly tame. Unless you're comparing it to a tranquilized lion, you know, that's about to be put in a zoo. That's what this song is. This song is tranquilized. Stack glasses on. So they've got the number 12 slot, which is a very decent slot. They're in the second half. The semi-final is much stronger. It's got one extra person. For me, it's nowhere near my top 10. This is right down the bottom for me. Now, I'm not going to rule it out because, like I said before, Lithuania have had success. They've had 7 out of 11. They've got Russia, Latvia, Ireland, UK. So there's a lot of help here. I don't want this to qualify. I wouldn't be massively disappointed because I like him. And I'd like to see him get through because I think he's a really lovely guy. But the song for me is nowhere near good enough to take the place of some of the really quality songs that are in the semi. So I'll be disappointed if this qualifies. But it's got a shot. Let's see where it is in the odds. So it's currently hovering at 13th in the odds. That seems accurate to me. Coming to my score, this song is tranquilized, tame, flat, and I've got that nagging bias in my head of what could have been if they'd sent Majule or even Monica. So my score for this is going to be 13. But I wish Jurijus well. I like him. Hopefully he can juice that jury. So, what do you think about Jurijus's Run with the Lions? Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've only got 7 more videos to react to, and then I'm going to be getting into all my delicious, juicy predictions. So turn on that bell so you get all that as soon as it arrives. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.